A few days before the college entrance exam, a junior came to the classroom to confess to Frost White. I lowered my head, packing my school bag, instinctively blurting out that I really liked her too. The noisy crowd suddenly fell silent. I immediately sensed something was wrong. I looked up, including Frost White. The whole group stared at me in unison, everyone utterly shocked. In the awkwardness, the junior angrily asked me, "Senior, do you also like Frost White?" I looked at the earphones in my hand and started to make up. Was I singing just now the song "I Like You" by GEM? The junior let out a sigh of relief, bursting into laughter. The cheering crowd. Someone shouted, "Sing a song," seemingly excited. The crowd chanted in unison, "Sing a song, sing a song." I opened my mouth for ages, but couldn't utter a word. Standing there awkwardly, I accidentally caught Frost White's gaze. She stood quietly across from me, the corners of her lips slightly curled. Her eyes gazed at me deeply, as if brimming with affection, as though she had seen through all my thoughts, but was too lazy to expose me, just wanting to see how long I'd keep up the act. Finally, someone in the crowd shouted, "Senior, do you even know how to sing? In the song 'I Like You,' there's no line like 'I really like you.' Aren't you confessing too?" I pretended to be serious, saying I only listen, not sing. I also really like Frost White, but only as a classmate. We're very good friends. Just then the bell for class rang. The noisy crowd dispersed, freeing me from that awkward atmosphere. Frost White and I returned to our seats, starting the self-study session. After what just happened, I lowered my head to read. My eyes scanned the lines of text, seeming focused, but in truth not a single word sank in. My mind was entirely on Frost White. Would she accept the junior's confession? Frost White pulled my book toward her, wrote a few words on it, then pushed it back to me. On the book appeared neat handwriting. "I want. Like him, I want agree." I looked up at her. My heart unconsciously sighed in relief. She pulled the book back again, wrote a few more words. "Didn't you say the same thing last time?" My ears instantly flushed red. In that moment, I tensed up, a bit at a loss for what to do. That time I thought she was asleep. During the lunch break, it was just me and her in the classroom. She sat beside me, head resting on the desk, her bangs covering her forehead, a few fine strands of hair falling across her face, sleeping peacefully like a little kitten. Blamed the sunlight that day for being too radiant, streaming through the window, shining on her fair face, making one mesmerized. I couldn't help but lean closer, whispering softly in her ear, "I like you." It had been so long. I thought no one knew. I didn't expect her to have heard, since she already knew. I didn't want to keep up the pretense anymore, mustering courage to admit it. Just then the homeroom teacher walked in. "Students, take out last month's test papers. I'll go over the key points during this self-study." The words I was about to say were swallowed back. Frost White saw I wanted to speak, but choked on my words. She couldn't help but chuckle softly, then took my book and wrote a few more words. "What a pity!" Her laughter caught the teacher's attention. He walked over to us, picked up the book Frost White had written in. He glanced at the words on it. His eyes full of meaning flicked between us twice, his gaze shuttling back and forth. He smiled and handed the book back to Frost White. After that, I didn't dare make a scene, my heart uneasy and apprehensive, also curious about what she wrote. But Frost White acted as if nothing happened, still focused on the teacher's lecture, taking notes until finally class ended. I hurriedly grabbed the book, wanting to see what she had written to me. "Meet me behind the school hill after class. Bring a few people." I was struck as if by lightning. My mood instantly plummeted. Even the heavens weren't kind. Thunder rumbled outside, perfectly matching my mood then. Not long after, heavy rain pounded the windows, the raindrops falling relentlessly, as if hammering hard on my heart. A surge of discomfort and suppression welled up. The hill behind the school was a sacred ground for delinquent students to settle scores. Fights, duels, or brawls all happened there. My family was very poor. One uniform worn for 3 years of high school, washed until it faded with no money to replace it. My parents told me from a young age not to cause trouble. The family couldn't afford to compensate. Naturally, I also couldn't afford to join class activities, so my high school life was mostly friendless. Only because of my good grades was I noticed by teachers, not bullied much by classmates. But Big Bright and the boys at the hill all understood the meaning of Frost White's words. Was she looking to settle things with me? I couldn't call anyone, nor would anyone help. After school, I went straight home. Seeing the impoverished state of my home, I suppressed my heavy mood and started studying. The college entrance exam was approaching. I knew this was the only chance to change my family's poverty, so I hastily cooked dinner, ate a few bites, and dove back into studying. Focused for 2 hours straight. I opened my phone, clicked on Frost White's profile to message her, found she had just posted a new status. I opened her page. The content read, "Such a great job. The first person to stand me up was you." Below was a photo of the hill behind the school. I knew she was referring to me. I hurriedly sent a message, wanting to explain, and took photos of all my study notes, preparing to send them to her. But the message showed a red exclamation mark. I had been blocked. Staring at that red exclamation mark, I realized I had truly angered Frost White, but I wasn't willing to give up, wanting to salvage something. So I went to my neighbor Brother Charles. Brother Charles, 27, still unmarried. Rumor had it he was once a heartthrob. With so many girls liking him, he didn't know who to choose. So he stayed single. He had a lot of experience with romance. I wanted to ask for his advice. After telling him everything, he sternly said to me, "Hope Tran, have you studied yourself, stupid? Isn't this obvious? She's planning to settle things with you. She's so beautiful, with so many suitors. She must already have a boyfriend. You're trying to steal someone's girl. Before in school it was hard to touch you. Now with the exam and graduation coming, she wants to settle it all at once. Lucky you didn't go, or you'd have taken a beating." After his analysis, I finally let it go, secretly relieved I didn't go. If I got beaten up before the exam, it would have messed with my mind. All my efforts would have been for nothing. The next day at school, Frost White didn't show up. The homeroom teacher said she was sick. She'd stay home to recover these days, and wouldn't return before the exam. Hearing this, I sighed in relief. No one would trouble me before the exam, but I couldn't help worrying. At such a critical time, she was sick. Would it affect her exam? But I knew I had no right to worrying about her. A few days later, the exam came. I did pretty well. Felt I could get into my dream university. Just didn't know how Frost White did. Outside the exam room, I saw her. I heard she was still coughing, clearly not fully recovered. She glanced at me coldly. I didn't dare approach to greet her, only overheard her talking to her best friend. Some people aren't even men. Breaking promises, standing others up, deserve to be single forever. I knew Frost White was indirectly scolding me. I was utterly confused. I only liked her, didn't do anything. Why was she so resentful? Did she really need to beat me up to vent? Lost in these perplexing thoughts, I reached the school gate. Stepping out, Frost White parted from her friend, smiling as she walked toward a man in his 20s. She reached his side, naturally linked arms with him, and got into his car. As she stepped into the car, Frost White glanced at me, her eyes carrying a hint of provocation. Seeing this, I knew Brother Charles was right. Frost White had a boyfriend. No wonder with so many suitors. She didn't accept any of them. Over half a month later, a message popped up in the class group. Frost White and I both got into the same university. Seeing the admission list, I was stunned. What a twist of fate! Someone in the group suggested we should go out to celebrate. Seeing that message, I usually ignored it, especially now with tension between me and Frost White. It was even less appropriate to show up. Frost White's best friend tagged me directly in the group. "Hope Tran, you're coming too. 3 years of high school, you never ate with us. Now we've graduated, it'll be hard to meet again." Seeing that message, I hesitated, then replied, "All right. Where are you guys going? Send me the location later." I agreed to join the gathering. Besides thinking about 3 years of high school, if we didn't stay in touch, we might never meet again. I also wanted to see how Frost White was. A while later, someone sent the address in the group. I got ready and hurried over. When I arrived, almost everyone was there. The gathering had about 2 tables of people. Only Frost White hadn't arrived. I looked around. The table with more guys was full. Frost White would surely sit at the other table. I didn't want to sit too close to her, afraid of stirring up trouble. While thinking what to do, Frost White's best friend waved me over. No choice but to grit my teeth and sit at that table. As I sat down, Frost White's best friend whispered in my ear, "You better perform well later." Then she happily moved to another spot, deliberately leaving the seat next to me empty. That spot was definitely for Frost White. Her best friend's actions left me confused. She was Frost White's best friend. She surely knew about our conflict. Yet today she arranged this. What did she want? Could it be because Frost White and I got into the same university? She wanted to mend our relationship, hoping we'd look out for each other at school. What a great friend Frost White had. A friendship to admire. Not long after Frost White arrived, she wore a white dress, standing at the restaurant entrance, instantly drawing everyone's attention. Her hair flowed loosely, swaying in the breeze. Her face lightly made up with a playful smile, standing under the sunlight, as if glowing ethereally. That radiance made me afraid to look directly. The glow from Frost White shone brightly, but even more dazzling was the man beside her. Yes, the same man who picked her up after the exam. Today he came with her too. I hated my own inadequacy, knowing she had a boyfriend, and that she disliked me. Yet I still clung to her shamelessly. I withdrew my gaze. Frost White's boyfriend naturally sat next to me, creating a barrier between me and her. She sat close to her boyfriend, separated from me by him. She pretended not to see me. I didn't initiate conversation either, but something felt off in my heart. An uneasy feeling. 3 years of high school. Frost Snow was always my desk mate. No one ever came between us. Yet at this final high school gathering, that title was broken. I was in a bad mood. Didn't want to talk to anyone. Normally, I was quiet in class. No one bothered to talk to me, so I just focused on eating and drinking. At that moment, Frost Snow's boyfriend spoke up, asking who got into the same university as Frost Snow. Frost Snow's face was cold, saying nothing. Her best friend smirked mischievously, pointing at me. I looked up, my eyes hazily meeting Frost Snow's boyfriend. "So you're the one who got into the same school as my Snow? Take good care of my Snow at school, alright." He poured a glass of wine and handed it to me, asking if I could drink. Indeed, Frost Snow's boyfriend, calling her my Snow already. Such an intimate term, it really irked me. I'd never drunk alcohol my whole life, but today in this situation, I didn't want to back down. I stubbornly said I could drink. Hearing me say I could, Frost Snow suddenly turned to look at me, saying to me the first words since the Hill incident: "If you can't drink, don't act tough." I thought to myself, who's she looking down on? My mouth just repeated one word: drink. Then I downed the glass of wine in front of me. Frost Snow looked at me in shock. Her boyfriend's eyes darted back and forth between us, a hard-to-describe glint in his eyes. Impossible to articulate. One glass of wine down, my head started spinning. Gradually, I let myself relax, kept clinking glasses with Frost Snow's boyfriend. I knew I couldn't outdrink him, but I just didn't want to admit defeat. In a haze, I don't know how much I drank. The next morning, I woke up in a hotel bed. No one in class knew where I lived. I must have been too drunk. My classmates brought me to a hotel. I couldn't help but feel regret. Can't drink yet, I acted tough, pretending to be a hero. This time I'd really lost face. 3 years of high school. I'd built up some dignity. Now it was all gone. Turning my head, I saw a note on the nightstand. I picked it up to read. The elegant handwriting I recognized at a glance as Frost Snow's. It read, "Can't drink yet acting tough, 3 years of high school. Don't I know what kind of person you are? If you wake up with a headache, drink some milk, sleep more. I used your phone to text your mom. Told her not to worry. Rest up and go home early." The words showed concern, in stark contrast to her ignoring me. I only felt she was mocking me for not handling alcohol. I carefully folded the note, tucked it into my pocket, and went home. The rest of the summer, I found a part-time job, working as a waiter in a diner. Unexpectedly so soon, Frost, Snow, and I met again, working at the diner, busy all morning. Finally, it was lunch break. I finished cleaning the last table, leftover food scraps from customers, sat down to rest. Not long after, before my seat even warmed up, Frost, Snow walked in. She wore a large sun hat, dressed in clean casual clothes. For a moment, I didn't recognize her. She didn't expect I'd be working here either. She looked at me in surprise. I had no choice but to approach and greet her. "Hello, what would you like to eat?" Seeing my serious demeanor, her eyes darted, scheming something. "Is there a menu? Let me see it." "Yes, wait a moment, I'll get it." I handed the menu to Frost, Snow. She ordered 2 dishes. After a while serving her food, I thought I could rest a bit. Just as I sat down, Frost, Snow's voice rang out. "Hello, waiter, pour me a glass of water." "Hello, waiter, get me a pair of chopsticks." "Hello, waiter, can you add some rice for me?" I was worn out by Frost, Snow's requests. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. Gritting my teeth, I said to her, "Frost, Snow, that's enough. Is it fun to tease people like this?" She was startled by my reaction. Her eyes instantly reddened. Her voice choked as she said to me, "Hope Tran, you're such a jerk." Then she ran out of the diner crying. I stood frozen in place, watching Frost, Snow's retreating figure. How unreasonable. Teasing someone and then scolding them. Where's the logic in that? The summer passed blandly like that. After the semester started, I didn't see Frost, Snow for a long time. We were at the same university, but different departments, quite far apart. Plus, with everything that happened between us, neither of us contacted the other. Most importantly, she had blocked me. I couldn't reach out even if I wanted to. Just starting university, I was quite busy. First, I joined the department's basketball team, then found a part-time job to cover expenses. Also wrote novels online to earn extra money. Every day was packed. My one-sided crush on Frost, Snow was gradually suppressed, beyond my expectations. The next time I saw Frost, Snow was on a screen. She had joined the university's TV station. In less than a semester, with her striking looks and outstanding skills, she was now the station's golden reporter. This time I saw her in a video released by the university. She was interviewing children at a special needs school. On camera, she was natural and confident, gentle and attentive with the special needs children, warm and composed. I couldn't help but watch her entranced. The university basketball tournament began. Today was our department's match. I was playing too, so I arrived early to warm up. Coming from a poor family, basketball was one of my few hobbies. Whenever I finished studying or felt down, I played basketball to unwind, but I'd never had formal training. My basketball was street style, full of free-spirited flair. I loved flashy dribbling moves and showy layups. Perhaps basketball was my only outlet. Once I touched the ball, I became a different person, completely unlike my usual frail appearance. My friends who played with me described my style as aggressive and dominant. At university, I didn't want to give up this hobby, so I joined the department's basketball team, quickly becoming a key player. Today was my debut in the university tournament. Our opponent was the medical department, a perennial powerhouse. The pressure on me was immense, afraid I'd cause the team to lose. Unexpectedly, my adrenaline boost appeared. Frost, Snow was assigned to cover this match. She was just like in high school, the center of attention wherever she went. Her presence was like a radiant scene, impossible to look away from. As soon as she appeared, the players on the court seemed hypnotized, constantly dribbling past her, trying to catch her attention. I just focused on shooting to get a feel. A girl suddenly approached me, handed me a bottle of water, sweetly saying, "Buddy, do your best." The first time a stranger gave me water, I was a bit flustered. Instinctively glanced at Frost, Snow, not sure if it was a coincidence. I saw her looking at me, so I took the water, said thank you, "I'll do my best," then opened the cap and took a big gulp. At that moment, I noticed Frost Snow's expression change, staring at me as if she wanted to devour me. Seeing that look, I wasn't scared. Instead, a satisfying sense of revenge surged. Then the basketball game began. If Frost Snow weren't there, I might have been nervous, but for some reason, I felt full of strength, wanting to unleash it, or I'd burst. On the court, after getting the ball, I quickly dribbled into the opponent's three-point zone. A slick spin move to get past, then a direct jump at the spot. A powerful slam dunk. Just over a minute into the game, I had a perfect debut. Cheers erupted from the sidelines. I smugly waved to the crowd. Frost Snow was also stunned watching me. Was this still the frail desk mate? She thought she knew. I was secretly thrilled. Continued playing. I deliberately pulled up my jersey to wipe sweat, showing off my toned 8-pack ABS from training. Who'd have thought I had ABS? In the end, our team still lost. The powerhouse lived up to its name. Despite my impressive start, they weren't fazed. Quickly adjusted and counterattacked. The loss wasn't unjust. During the post-game interview, Frost Snow approached us. I was hopeful she'd interview me, but she went straight to the team captain, asked a few questions, and prepared to leave. Perhaps because of the adrenaline from the game, I boldly said to Frost Snow, "Long time no see." She only replied faintly with an then turned and left without looking back. My teammates saw me initiate conversation with Frost Snow, teasingly asked me, "You know Frost Snow? She's the freshman beauty queen now." I said I knew her. We were high school classmates. High school classmates. Yet she just ignored you. Is there something between you two? Don't talk nonsense, nothing's going on. Just a misunderstanding. They didn't notice until I mentioned it. You and Frost Snow look good together. A talented guy and a beautiful girl, not an exaggeration. Their words made my ears flush. But thinking of Frost Snow's boyfriend, my heated heart instantly cooled. I could only smile wryly and say, "We're just classmates. Nothing more. Don't overthink it." University life was like that. At first, I was overwhelmed, not knowing what to do, feeling like there wasn't enough time. But once I got used to it, time felt abundant. In my free time, I focused on polishing my novel. Frost Snow seemed as busy as ever, only visible in the university's official videos. I didn't deliberately try to meet her. I knew meeting her would be easy, but meeting naturally, without revealing my intentions, was the hard part. Opportunity always comes, and hadn't it arrived? To improve my writing skills, I entered the university's writing contest, won first place. The school notified me to attend an exchange event that afternoon. In this situation, Frost Snow was sure to show up. As expected, Frost Snow was there. Last time at the basketball game, I wasn't the star. She ignored me left right away. Today, I was the first place winner. I didn't believe she'd deliberately ignore me. I must say, beyond Frost Snow's beauty, her skills and professionalism were impeccable. Even though we weren't on good terms, she still showed professional interviewing skills and a solid foundation. Her questions were spot on, sparking audience interest without making the interviewee uncomfortable. But no matter how skilled she was, she couldn't handle my lack of cooperation. I deliberately made things difficult for her. Miss Frost Snow, being looked down on by others is the motivation to strive, right? Frost Snow's face turned pale, forcing herself to continue interviewing me. She was already upset, and I kept making it harder. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. Bad character. No matter how great the success, it's just a mirage. It won't last. Who are you saying has bad character? Looking down on classmates from poor backgrounds. That's what's truly bad character. Whoever it applies to knows. Breaking promises, standing people up. Someone who doesn't keep their word has character. The tension between us grew thicker. A friend nearby curiously asked you to know each other. Not at all. I wouldn't dare climb so high with a rich girl like her. I mocked, but Frost Snow didn't back down. Exactly, I wouldn't dare befriend a self-pitying type like Linda Yu, afraid I'd catch their gloom. Our argument grew louder. The surroundings fell silent. We realized something was off. In perfect sync, we both shut up. The friend filming looked at us meaningfully and said, "You two have something going on. It's not simple. Can't you see we're enemies?" We said in unison to the cameraman. At that moment, everyone's looks grew stranger. To avoid awkwardness, we pretended to be calm and went our separate ways. The interview ended. It started pouring outside. The morning was clear. Then suddenly heavy rain. No one was prepared. Everyone was stuck in the hall. My eyes kept searching for Frost Snow in the crowd. Finally found her. She was at the entrance, about to run out into the rain. Without thinking, I grabbed her hand shouting, "Are you crazy? You know you're frail, you can't get wet." "I know, but I have something urgent." "What's more important than your health?" My voice unconsciously rose. Frost Snow's face flushed slightly, a bit shyly saying, "What's my health to you?" She glared at me. I was at a loss for words. Suddenly her boyfriend's image flashed in my mind. I stiffly said, "It's not about me, but I promised your boyfriend I'd take care of you at school. I can't break my promise." Frost Snow looked at me in shock. "Don't slander people. Who said I have a boyfriend? And you with no credibility. What promise are you talking about? The guy who picked you up after the exam wasn't your boyfriend. At the summer gathering, he told me to take good care of you." "Who said he's my boyfriend?" "That's my brother. He called me my Snow." "Don't you think that's ridiculous? He's my brother. His Snow, what's wrong with him calling me that?" I was stunned. That did make sense. "Alright, my mistake. Sorry, but anyway, with this heavy rain you can't get wet. You don't understand, this is really important. Our group project took weeks. It's due this afternoon. If we miss the deadline, weeks of work by 7 or 8 people will go to waste. Can you see why I'm in a hurry?" Knowing Frost Snow didn't have a boyfriend, I suddenly grew bolder, reached out to pat her head, softly saying, "Don't worry, I'm here. No rush." My bold move made Frost Snow's face flush red. She stood still, obediently murmuring an mm. I looked around, walked to the exhibition board on the right side of the hall. The board was plastic, wide enough to shield two people. I held it up standing in front of Frost Snow, told her, "Let's go. It'll take you back." Frost Snow briskly stepped in front of me. I shielded her as we crossed through the rain. The crowd stuck in the hall cheered loudly. Frost Snow walked beside me. I clearly saw her ears turn red. The rain was too heavy. Frost Snow had no choice but to stay close to me. The scent of her hair wafted to my nose. Both of us were silent, the atmosphere both ambiguous and awkward. To break the awkwardness, I found something to say. "Hey, add me back as a friend." Frost Snow pouted. "I didn't block you. You didn't add me and you blame me." I chuckled. "Alright, I'll add you later. You better agree." Frost Snow murmured an mm. Sadly, the walk was too short. Soon Frost Snow reached her dorm. I watched her enter the building, then turned away, tossing the board. Got soaked on my way back to my dorm. Back in my room, I added Frost Snow to my contacts first, then roughly dried my hair. Didn't even change my wet clothes. I deliberately wanted to catch a cold. Hey ha! So I'd have an excuse for Frost Snow to visit me. But my plan failed. Frost Snow got back and caught a cold too. Both of us ended up in the infirmary. In the infirmary, Frost Snow's face was pale, her forehead beaded with sweat. Seeing her made my heart ache. With such heartache, the discomfort of my cold felt like nothing. My flu seemed to vanish. I got some cold medicine, waited for the nurse to set up Frost Snow's four. The nurse prepared to inject Frost Snow. As the four started, Frost Snow trembled. She was afraid of needles. Her fear of needles was uncontrollable. I stepped over to cover her eyes. The nurse seized the chance to insert the needle. After Frost Snow's four was done, I went to the store, bought some snacks she liked. When I returned to the infirmary, Frost Snow was asleep. Every time she slept, she was like a little kitten, so cute you wanted to pet her. I quietly leaned closer to Frost Snow, said to her, "I like you." Frost Snow suddenly opened her eyes, staring at me. I was embarrassed by her gaze, laughed loudly. "So you weren't asleep?" I didn't expect Frost Snow to say, "If you like me, why did you stand me up?" I admitted standing her up was my fault, but your words made me too scared to go. Why were you scared? You asked me to meet behind the hill and bring people. I thought you were going to confront me. Then I messaged you, but you blocked me. When did I tell you to bring people? I only asked you to meet behind the hill, but I saw it that way. Then it hit me. No wonder Frost Snow resented me so much after. I kept apologizing. Frost Snow haughtily said, just a verbal apology is enough. Waiting for you, I got sick for days. The college entrance exam was almost affected, and then you yelled at me. When did I yell at you? I was confused. That summer at your part-time job, at the diner. I just wanted to see you a bit more. But you yelled at me, Frost Snow said, growing more aggrieved. Then I remembered the small misunderstanding at my summer job. You wanted to see me more. I thought you were getting revenge, deliberately messing with me. Plus, I was exhausted all morning. I couldn't hold back. 3 years as desk mates. In your eyes, am I that kind of person? Yes, I deliberately messed with you. Deliberately got revenge. Happy with that answer? Satisfied now? Frost Snow said angrily. I got anxious. Quickly grabbed her hand. We don't have God's perspective. We can't fully stand in each other's shoes or think completely objectively about ourselves. All I can do is correct my mistakes. Forgive me, okay? Frost Snow didn't pull her hand away. Just softly said, I'll forgive you this time, but it depends on your future behavior. Hearing her forgive me, my hanging heart finally settled. Then I coaxed Frost Snow to sleep, stayed by her bedside watching her. After this, our relationship quickly warmed. We often ate together, joined activities. During events, I received awards as the interviewee. Frost Snow came to interview me. Someone posted about us on the school's social media. People who knew us left comments. These two, I knew something was up. Back then, they both denied it. They looked so good together. Hope Tran is a top student, talented and handsome. Frost Snow is the school's golden reporter, also a top student, and a beauty queen. You won't find a better match. Hope Tran, you stole my goddess. This grudge is irreconcilable. Frost Snow, don't do this. Why are you with someone else? What do I do now? Frost Snow, are you happy? You better be happy. The comments below teased us to no end. We read them, laughing uncontrollably. I held Frost Snow's hand tightly. Summer back home, Frost Snow invited me to stroll and eat. When I arrived, Frost Snow and her best friend were at the milk tea shop, waiting for me. I naturally sat next to Frost Snow, instinctively holding her hand. Her best friend covered her mouth, shocked, looking at us. You two are together now. Finally, I've waited for this day. I looked at her friend, puzzled. Her friend said, you finally got it. Frost Snow liked you for 3 years in high school, but you never made a move. We thought you had no feelings for her. You knew all along. Of course. Why else do you think? We invited you to the summer gathering, told you to perform well, and with so many universities in the country, what are the odds? Frost Snow got into the same one as you. I didn't notice at all. In high school, I was like a ghost. No friends. Someone like me who'd like me. Haha, you'll have to ask your Frost Snow. Who knows what she saw in you? Frost Snow's friend laughed. Frost Snow shyly recalled. I don't know either. Just felt the first time I saw you. Your approachable vibe drew me in. Later, as desk mates, I saw how hard you worked, how serious you were. I don't know when I started liking you. Frost Snow, her friend mysteriously said to me. Hope Tran, one more secret. Want to know? Frost Snow quickly stopped her. Don't say it. What's wrong with saying it? You two never saying anything. That's why it took years to get together. Then, her friend turned to me. Your novel. Guess who's your most loyal reader? Sitting right next to you. Oh my gosh, I told you not to say it. Now Hope Tran will feel pressured. I held Frost Snow's hand tightly, responding. Then I realized how much this girl had done for me. My heart was both moved and guilty. In this life, I'll never let her down. With Frost Snow's help and support, my novel finally achieved success, earning a decent royalty. After graduation, Frost Snow joined the city's TV station. I used the royalties from my first book to open a few shops, and became a part-time writer. 2 years after graduation, Frost, Snow, and I walked down the aisle. On our wedding day, Frost, Snow's brother, my brother-in-law, raised a glass to me. "From now on, my Snow is in your hands. You better take good care of her, or I won't let you off." I still remember how you stood her up, made her sick for days. I held Frost, Snow's hand, promising I'd treat Snow well. The simplest words carried my firm resolve. Frost, Snow cried like rain. I kept wiping her tears, comforting her, exchanging rings, kissing. Frost, Snow, and I were officially together. The story ends. Thank you for following along.